What's up, pageant patrons? This is Isaac, and as you well know, the Miss Earth 2023 pageant is done and in the books. The gorgeous Miss Albania, she won. I will not try to butcher her name, but she won, and so she was one of my favorites. So I am glad that she won. This was the first time that I have actually sat and I watched the Miss Earth 2023, and I tell you what, the question and answer was tough. Here's the question. The question was, an official at a recent climate conference was quoted as saying there is no science behind coals for the phase out of fossil fuels. Do you agree with this? Why or why not? And that question was by Al Jabbar. I don't think I said his name correctly, but he is the president of the committee COP28, and it is a group of countries, that have gotten together and they're talking about, I believe it's climate change, if I'm not mistaken. But he is also the CEO of the United Arab Emirates. It's the state-owned oil company. And so it is very interesting that he would actually, no, I take that back. It's not interesting that he would say that because he is the president of an oil company. And so naturally fossil fuels is how they make their living. But this question is a tough one. So let's see how the ladies answered it. The first one up was Miss Vietnam. And naturally, I always wanted to use the video, but every time I tried to use the video, I kept getting a copyright claim. So I'm just going to read it to you. So here we go. It's Miss Vietnam. And here was her answer. I believe that in order to have a more sustainable future, we must experiment with nature as well as humanity. And I believe that with anything that comes into our lives, we can achieve it through science or through our own humane society as one whole community of our planet Earth. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not quite sure what she's talking about. And just kind of note, they had to repeat the question twice for her. And so it really doesn't go to the heart of the question. So, I mean, I'm not sure. Let's just go to her answer. We must experiment with nature as well as humanity. So I'm not sure what she means, but to her credit, she may not have a great grasp on the English language. So maybe she was just using the words that she know. I'm not putting down her answer. I'm just analyzing her answer. And again, if you disagree, that's okay. But if you look at her, I think she's gorgeous. And whatever the judges thought of her, they thought enough of her to, get her in the top 4. So, but for me, she didn't answer the question. The next one up was Yana Edwana of the Philippines. And this is what she says. As someone who is from the medical field, I do believe that everything roots from science. And I think that the greatest gift that we have in this generation is the sophisticated technical installations that we have. And so there is science in the phase out of fossil fuels. But one thing that we can also agree on is we can always live the zero waste and sustainable lifestyle. I've always been practicing it because sustainability will always ensure the stability in our future. And if we can master the transferability skills from a just phase out, then we will have a greener and more sustainable future. Her answer seems a bit wordy and it is full of technical terms, but but that just shows that as a Filipino, she has a great grasp of the English language. Let's just, she starts it off as someone who's from the medical field. I do believe that everything roots in science. Okay, so that's the premise. And I think the greatest gift that we have in this generation is the sophisticated technical installations. A bunch of big words. But as a scientist, as someone that's rooted in science, she would know what all of that is. And then she says, and so there is science in the phase out of fossil fuels. So again, she's going to the heart of the question to phase out of fossil fuels. But for me, and I'm not going to go through the rest of it, but she uses those buzzwords: sustainable lifestyle, sustainability, stability in our future, master the transferability skills from a just phase out. So if you notice, she gives all of those buzzwords, but pretty much in a 30-second little clip, I think she shows that, she's trying to answer the question. And I think, if you want to compare that to Miss Vietnam, who spoke first, I think she came, closer to answering that question, because the question, it goes back to, there is no science behind codes for the phase out of fossil fuels. And while she doesn't address coals, the coal industry directly, she is trying to say that there is a science behind it. And again, she throws out those buzzwords for you. And we also have, now, the next one is Drita Ziri of Albania. And this is what she says. She says, I do believe that a lot is happening to our earth right now regarding also this problem. It's because of people. It's because of unawareness. It's because of not thinking that they do have the impact to do the undoing, to actually make progress in this world. I believe that if we can plant the seed of love, we're going to carry all the other values we need to have. Persistence, consistency, determination, and actually passion for caring for our earth. I have passion about our advocacy. That's why I am here in front of you today. I agree that she is trying to be very passionate about what she says, but I don't think she goes to the heart of the question. And I'm going to tell you again, it was really a hard question. To me, it was more of I would even say a scientific question. And so, but she said, I do believe that a lot is happening to our earth right now regarding this problem. So to me, I think she uses that as a way of not really understanding the question, but still wanting to answer the question. I could be wrong, but that's just the way that I see it. I believe that if we can plant the seed of love, we're going to carry all of the other values we need to have. And maybe she's thinking of love of the earth and making sure that we do everything that we can to protect Mother Earth. I would agree to that. But just for me, I don't really think she answered the question. So the final one would be Cora. I'm sorry, but of Thailand. So this would be Miss Thailand's answer. And so this is what she says. I believe if the right eyes and ears are on the right thing, like green energy and alternative from fossil fuels, I believe we can make a difference in combating the emissions we are giving out to our planet and helping our planet become a better place by investing and educating people about the green alternatives there is. And for me, and again, I keep saying for me, because I know some of you are going to disagree, I think she's headed in the right direction, though. Because if you think about, she's from Thailand, so she may not have a wonderful grasp of the language, but how she starts off, I really like how she starts off. She says, if the right eyes and ears are on the right thing, like green energy and alternatives from fossil fuels, I believe we can make a difference in combating the emissions. And while it may not be based in science, if you have the best people from the science field looking at it, what alternatives can we come up with from fossil fuels? Because we can even debate, is it possible in the next few years to phase out fossil fuels altogether? And that's the huge debate. I'm not here to debate that, but all I'm saying is that's what people are looking at. That's what scientists want. And so people that are in the industry, especially the oil industry, the coal industry as well, they're saying, okay, well, what is the alternative? And so I will let everyone else sort of, argue that point. But I do like how she starts it off. And she says, I believe we can make a difference in combating the emissions that we're giving out to our planet. And so, by investing and educating people about the green alternatives there is. And again, while it doesn't specifically answer the question, I believe she's definitely in the right direction. So I like Yana Idwana's answer, but hers, it would be a second for me. So I really like those two answers. I think she's she's going in the right direction, even though she doesn't specifically answer the question. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts about the Q&A. So again, let me just make sure that I congratulate Miss Vietnam. She was Miss Earth Water. Yana Idwana was Miss Earth Air. Miss Albania, she was the winner, so congrats to her. And then Miss Thailand was Miss Earth Fire. So congratulations to all of those ladies. And it was just a hard question. There's just no way around it. So anyway, if I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But it is my opinion. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. You always do, and I certainly do appreciate that. Thank you guys. This is Isaac. Peace out.